Hey, 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 everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Power of You Telesummit. This is day one, and I am excited about what God is going to do in these next 3 days as we talk about the power of loving yourself, the power of creating healthy relationships, and the power of walking in your purpose. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, lady, do you want to come on the screen early? And you can just be sitting on here with me? Hey, hey, hey. Okay, I'll go ahead and invite you. Hey, everybody. Hey, Denise. How are you? Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining. How is it going? I am excited because the power of you is such an amazing process, and I am looking forward to talking with my special guest in regards to the power of loving yourself, the power of loving yourself. Yes, make sure you share, Denise. We do have giveaways, so make sure you're sharing and hashtag shared. Yes, good morning. I'm sorry, good morning. Oh my God.
Oh, it's
Good.
about morning time.
I don't want to go back either, right? I don't want to go back. It's been a long
Please
day.
no.
So
Closer to
I'm just gonna
Friday.
go. I know, right? It's Wednesday, and I'm excited about that. I like my weekends, even
Yeah.
though when you start and it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really matter, right? So
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and get started and just introduce myself really quickly because I want to dive into the topic, which is the power of loving yourself. So as you come in, make sure you share, make sure you like, make sure you show us love because we are simply on assignment. And so I thank us, my special guest, for accepting that assignment. So I'm Shanita Rousey. I'm an author of the forthcoming book, The Power of You, and I am excited. I love it. I'm excited because, it's my baby. It's something that I birthed out of my spirit. It was a simply a place where I was, right? It's talking about unforgiveness. It's talking about insecurities. It's talking about the lack of loving yourself. It's talking about not walking fully in your power. So the book I wrote to actually help people get out of that, right? Help people get out of the place of being stuck and stagnant in regards to their life, in regards to their purpose, in regards to not allowing their past to, cause them to stay stuck, right? Not allowing your past to constantly play mind games, right? Because we all have those situations where we have that thing where we refuse to go back to, but we're
Mm-hmm.
always in our mind thinking about. We're always, you have those people that want to remind you of your past, right? And so I am encouraged, and I wrote the book to really help other people to actually understand you have power. There's greatness within you. There's no limit to what you can do, especially with God, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
that's the power of you. And I'm excited because it releases officially next month. So stay tuned for some amazing things in regards to the power of you. And so this Power of You Telesummit actually came from the Power of You book. And so as we go into the new year, as we go into 2018, I want to make sure that we understand and that we're very clear in regards to making sure we go into the new year right, right? And that starts with ourselves. As our topic for today is the power of loving ourselves. And it starts with us because so many times we neglect ourselves and we don't, do the proper self-care. We don't do the affirmations. We don't talk good to ourselves, right? And so when we're not doing that, we're dying. We're catering to everybody else. We work at the jobs, we, going to
Mm-hmm.
school, we're doing X, Y, and Z. We're going through the routine, but we're not really living.
Right.
We become drained, right? And so I love the thing about, you can't pour from your cup until it really overflows, right? If you don't have anything in your cup, you can't give anything to anybody else. So I want to make sure that we are equipped. I want to make sure that we are ready for 2018 internally, right? It's the first thing, eternally. I know we like to look like we to par. I know we like to look that we got it all together, but it's enough of that, that whole mentality of fake it till you make it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like it. My thing is get it right, right?
Right.
Because eventually it's gonna show up,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if it shows up later on, your character is not going to keep you in a room, right? And so I want to be in a room where I understand that God has actually taken time to heal me and to prune me and to get rid of everything that's going to keep me from my next level, right? And so I'm excited because the power of you is something you work on daily. It's something that sometimes we, want to just do this one hit thing and okay, I'm good, I'm secure. But it's moments when you're insecure,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's
Mm-hmm.
moments when you're looking at everybody else and you're like, man, they got this and they got that, and I only got this and I ain't got that, right? And so I don't want us to have that mentality. I want us to constantly feed ourselves, understanding that we have power within us, right? And we don't have to try to snatch somebody else's power. We don't have to try to, hate on somebody else's power, but we can just activate the power that we have within, right? And so before I start preaching or coughing because I am sick, I'm going to go ahead and get our guest on the live. She's on with me, but I'm going to go ahead and introduce her. We actually met on Instagram, right? I think it was this year,
I think so.
maybe last year, and we just connected just in regards to liking each other's posts, right? And liking I loved actually what she's doing and what she does for young people. And so I said, you know what? I told her one day, I said, we're gonna do something together. I don't know what, I don't know when, but we're gonna collaborate. And this is just the start because I'm excited about her future. I'm excited about what God's gonna do through her. And even as she speak and share her story today, I know that someone's gonna be impacted, somebody's gonna be touched. And so I am going to introduce my very special guest in regards to the topic of the power of you, Miss Tyann Lachey. I love it. Is that your middle name? I
Uh-huh.
love it.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi,
So go ahead.
O'Shea.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here.
I
I'm
love it.
super
I love it.
excited.
I thank you for being here.
Thank you for
So
having
tell us.
me. I feel really, really, really touched. No, I'm super excited. I'm so glad that you like saw something in me and in what I was doing and invited me to come. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you're amazing. So it's just the beginning. So I got to get now before you see it the big time, and then you be like, I don't know her.
No, because you're gonna be right up there with me, so we're gonna be like, yes, hey girl. Yes.
So go ahead and tell our viewers who you are. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
So my name is Taya Lachey. My last name, people knows me. It's Taya Adair. I'm 25 years old. I am an author. I have 5 books, 5 self-published books, and
Big
then I have
mouth.
a company called A Beautiful Wonderful Me. It's just about encouraging young kids to love themselves. I just want to encourage them to, love themselves, be creative, be positive, and the main thing is reversing that mindset of negativity and embracing a more positive mindset, because growing up I had a very, very negative mindset and it impacted me in so many bad ways. So I just want to, be a encouragement or be an inspiration to other young kids to love themselves.
And that's amazing because, I think sometimes we kind of overlook young kids. We thinking that they don't have any feelings or,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, or they're not dealing with things. And so,
Mm-hmm.
you made it very clear that you have experienced some things in your life. And so it really brought you to this point. So what
Mm-hmm.
is that story? What was that thing? What was the issue that caused you to say, hey, I got to create this brand for me. This is the younger me talking to me
Mm-hmm.
now. What was the path? How did you discover who you were?
So let me see. In elementary school, like kindergarten through 4th grade, like I was a very, very outgoing girl. Like I was popping, like I was loud, I was outgoing, like I was doing it. But when I got to 5th grade, I don't know what it was, something happened. And then I started looking at other people differently. I started looking at, other girls differently. I would start seeing, like, in my eyes, like how pretty they were, and all these, I would see like no flaws, and I started noticing the flaws within myself, and
Hmm.
kind of seeing that comparison. I would be like, oh, they don't have this, or I have these scars on my legs, I have messed up teeth, I have bad skin, whatever. And it really messed with me because, like you were saying, we compare ourselves to people, and I was really comparing myself, and that lasted all up until like early in college. Having that negative self-image, it kept me from doing things that I really wanted to do. Like growing up, I wanted to be an actor or actress, but in my mind, I'm like, who's going to want to look at me? Who's going to want to hire me? Nobody's going to want to do that. And I would just continuously like speak negatively about myself and all that kind of stuff. And then also when it comes to friendships, like people would always say like I was kind of quiet, you know, in middle school and high school, because in my mind I'm like, who's gonna want to be friends with me? You know, I'm not cute in my eyes. Like no boy is gonna want to talk to me, even though that shouldn't have been important. Worrying about
Right.
little boys, but it just really messed with me, and my family, of course, they know me, so they always knew like something wasn't right, or I was kind of like always down, and they were kind of, you know, encouraging me. And it's crazy because a lot of the times you hear people who have, you know, that negative self-image, they've been talked about or people will make fun of them. I never really experienced that at all. Like nobody ever like bullied me or talked bad about me. It was just something internally that was going on. And it wasn't until I'm 25 right now, it wasn't until the age of 23 that I got over it. And it was all pretty much, I had to start getting into, you know, into the scriptures. And I've been a
Mm-hmm.
Christian all my life. I've known God all my life. Like, but there was just something happened to where I just had to like really, really connect with God. And the scripture that he gave me was, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made, Psalms 139:14. I had to write it down to make sure I didn't forget it.
Yeah, you
Psalms
got it.
139:14. And I had to realize like who I am and who God called me to be. And after that, it just changed the way that I started seeing myself. It changed the way how, you know, I started speaking about myself, how I started looking at myself. And it's like I had to start seeing myself as God sees me, instead of
Mm-hmm.
noticing like or looking at all the things that I say are wrong with me. And
Right.
after seeing that, it just, my whole mindset like changed. And it's like it sucks that it took 20 something years for that to happen, but I'm so glad that
Mm-hmm.
it did. And that's where Beautiful Wonderful Me came about, because I know there are so many young girls, and I worked in the elementary schools growing up, and you see so many young girls disliking themselves. Like this one little girl, she told me, I hate my life. I'm like, why do you hate your life? You're in second grade. Like, why would you tell me
Right.
that?
Like what life?
I know. But it's like there's so many things that our young people are struggling with
Yeah.
internally. There's so many things that we don't know about, that parents may not know about, because I know my family kind of, because they pay attention, but in some families you may not have parents who pay attention to their kids, and their kids are just struggling with this. Or in some households you may not have parents who are always like uplifting their kids or saying that you can do anything or you're beautiful or
Right.
whatever. And you have some people who actually talk down to their kids, and I've seen it before, and it saddens me to see that. Like, but it's just,
Right.
if I can just be an encouragement to somebody else and share my story with young girls, to just let them know like, hey, you're beautiful, know who you are, know who you are.
Right.
That's, yeah.
And that's so true when you talk about even the process, because I think about when I was a young girl, there were things that were told to me. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you're ugly, you're this and you're
Mm-hmm.
that. And these were family members, right? People
Mm-hmm.
that you would take them by their word because they're family.
Right.
But really, you know, what it ended up happening is I didn't realize the damage it did until later on,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you see it like, you know, oh yeah, this fine, you know, that's okay because you hear different things from different ways. But
Right.
as you're growing up as a young girl, and as I got into my teenage years, you know, I had a sugar daddy, right? So it
Mm-hmm.
was, you know, the form of looking for love in the wrong place,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
And that's what it really build up to. And
Mm-hmm.
so, excuse me, but you know how that happens because you know look at the human trafficking rates. You know the
Mm-hmm.
runaways, they're really looking for love, and so they're
Mm-hmm.
thinking because he showed me a little bit of attention, he gave
Mm-hmm.
me a little bit of money. Hey, this is what it is, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
the case. It's all temporal, right? And
Right.
so it's really taking time to affirm. And I love when you said that you went into the word because really,
Mm-hmm.
you know, this self care, this self affirmation, it takes work,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's something you have to kind of daily go into because the enemy is going to
Right.
play with your mind. The enemy is going to remind you of your past and
Mm-hmm.
what's not, and oh, so and so is thicker, or so and so
Mm-hmm.
got longer hair, or whatever the
Mm-hmm.
case may be, and
Right.
you're comparing yourself. But
Right.
in reality, you're just you. I mean, somebody is dying to be in your spot, right?
Exactly.
They're dying to look like you, but you want to
Mm-hmm.
look like somebody else, right? So it's all about affirming yourself,
Right.
right? I
Right.
love it. So, did you have anything else to add?
You said what? I'm sorry.
Have anything else to add to that?
Um,
How about I cut you off?
Sort of like, yeah, kind of when you were
Go ahead.
talking about looking for love in the wrong places, I'm so glad that like God kept me, because you do see so many girls like looking for love in the wrong places and being in relationships that they shouldn't be in, especially like abusive relationships. And that's a big thing. It's like you have this guy telling you one thing, and this is probably going all off subject, but you have this guy telling you one thing and treating you this kind of way, but you know, he says that he loves you and that you're beautiful and all that kind of stuff, and girls stick around because it's like, you know, they don't know their self-worth. And it's like when you don't love yourself and you don't know your self-worth, you're willing to put up with anything and everything. And that's very unfortunate that a lot of girls and a lot of women go through that.
Right, exactly. Sorry. You guys, I'm coughing to death, but I'm going to make it through this live. So I appreciate that. So we can go on into regards to what are some things that you think needs to be addressed in regards to self-love.
So I kind of touched on it when you touched on there are three things that I really want to say. I don't know everything, but I know just what worked for me. And the main thing that I talked about first was just knowing who you are in Christ, because the world is a crazy place. And if you aren't in the Word, then you can just go crazy. And it's like, even though I'm all about like loving yourself and all that kind of stuff, now there's still times when I struggle now, and I have to continuously go back to those scriptures and remind myself that I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Right.
That's the main thing, just knowing who you are in Christ and staying in the Word, and just truly believing that God called you to be great, God loves you, and that's number one. You have to put God first. And then the second one is just speaking life, and then changing the way that you speak about yourself, because the Bible says death and life are in the power of the tongue, and I believe your words have power. So many times it's so easy for us to down ourselves, even as far as like taking compliments. You know, somebody can say, "Oh girl, I like your hair," and I'd be like, "Oh, my hair is not even done, I need to wash it." Or like when you look in the mirror, you notice all the bad things about you, and you'd be like, "Oh, I don't like this, I don't like that." It's just like we need to start changing the way that we speak about ourselves. And that's something that I had to do. Instead of saying, I don't like this, start speaking about the things that you do like, or just start, you know, speaking life, saying I am smart enough, I am good enough, I am pretty enough. You know, that's very important.
I love affirmations because it's really affirming yourself, because the thing of it is that you have so many negative vibes coming from the outside. And if you don't pour into you, who will?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
We have to get a routine, you know, to make sure we do it daily. So I love it.
Yeah. Also, it's funny because all the stuff that I had, like, we spoke about already, but it's like, stop comparing yourself, because that's one of the things that really got me starting in 5th grade, when I would look at myself and compare myself to all these other girls, and I would see like, oh, they didn't have acne at the time, or, you know, they had this and I didn't have that. And then especially like in the media, I know that's what a lot of people talk about. You have this standard of beauty, and it's like a lot of the time it's unnatural, and you have these young girls comparing themselves to what they see in the media, and it's like a lot of the time that isn't natural. And it's like, we need to start learning how to love ourselves. There's nothing wrong with, like, you know how we put makeup on to
enhancing your beauty.
But we just have to stop comparing ourselves, because if you continuously compare yourself to other people, you're always going to be disappointed, because there's always somebody who's going to be smarter than you. There's always going to be somebody who's prettier. There's always going to be somebody who's probably a little bit more, but we all have flaws, but we don't ever pay attention to that. So it's like, just stop comparing yourself altogether and just focus on you, focus on making yourself better, focus on you and becoming a better you, and focus on loving you.
And that's key too, you know, because you think about it, you know, I always think about, you know, your level of success, right? And sometimes people will go and say, you know, oh, I want to be a millionaire. And that may not be my level of success. My level of success may be paying bills on time, right? Or going to school. You know what I mean? So we have to really take in consideration, even with our self-care, making sure that we're on our level. What is our next level? Right, in regards to self-care. And when you talked about like the enhancement situation, it's like, I think about those who have these plastic surgeries and they got all this stuff. It's like, how dare you, you know, criticize what the creator did? He made you, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like, what?
Yeah. And it sucks though, because it's like, especially like, you know, like thick, like really being really thick is in now. So it's like you have people like killing themselves to get procedures done, and it's all because they aren't happy with the way they are, and like again I said, nothing, I feel like nothing is wrong with enhancing, and
Right.
I'm not one to judge anybody else or say what they can't do, but if you're going to do something, at least do it safe. But you have people like going to the extremes just to look a certain way and doing more harm than
Right.
good, and it's like that's not okay at all.
Right. I mean, like, it's dangerous because a lot of them have those situations where they butt exploded or something crazy that
Mhm.
happened to their body, or you don't know what it's gonna do
Mhm.
now. It's really just accepting you,
Yeah.
whatever it is. And if it's something on you that you don't like,
Mhm.
as far as if it's, weight, you can lose weight, you know what I mean? But do it for
Mhm.
you. Because when you do
Right.
it for people, it's not gonna stick.
Right.
Because you walk away from you, then what? You got this
Exactly.
big old butt, they still don't want you. Right?
Mhm.
So it's like, do things for you in regards to
Mhm.
self-care. So I love it. Those are some amazing, amazing tips in regards to
Yeah.
self-care. Did you have
Well,
any others to add? Because
and
I know
just
you're a poet and everything.
you said I'm what?
You're a poet and everything. I know you can
I know,
freestyle.
no. But just another thing is just do things to make you happy. I know there's so many people, especially parents. I'm not a parent, but I just look at my mom. A lot of the time, she always puts us before herself,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not okay
No.
because she goes without, and it's like, yeah, your children may be happy, but you can't take care of us completely in the way you really want to if you aren't taking care of yourself, even if it's just like, retail therapy, going out and buying
Right.
yourself something, or going out and, just having a spa day or something, just really taking care of you, taking care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. It's like, that's just is so important because like you say, you can't help other people and give to other people if you aren't on full. You have to be overflowing in order to help other people. And that's just
Exactly.
another thing that I think is really important.
And I'm glad you mentioned that in regards to taking care of your actual physical self too.
Mhm.
Because another thing that we do as people is we don't know how to say no.
Mhm.
Right? So we overcommit because we want to support everybody. We want to be everywhere. We want to do everything. We want to do this and we want to do that. And then we're tired.
Mhm.
So I think it's important, even in this next season, is to make sure that we can say no.
That's
Can't
something I
be
struggle
everywhere.
with too. Denise said, I have no problem with that. Good for you, Miss Denise White. That is something because it's like you're trying to please everybody and you don't want people. I know with me, I'm trying to learn how to say no to certain things, but it's like you don't want to disappoint anybody, or you don't want people to think like, oh, she thinks she's too good to do this, or for whatever thought you may think that they may think about you for saying no. But it's like, if I'm like physically unable to do it, or if I know that it'll make me tired, or I won't give it my all, then I
Right.
should say no, and not do something just to please other people,
Hmm.
because then I'm not taking
Because
care of
half
me.
the time, right. I'm sorry. Yeah. So half the time, because we actually, I know for me sometimes, when I overcommit, it's like I'm meeting everybody else's deadline and then I miss my own.
Right.
So it's like you're supposed to
Exactly.
do something a day for you, right?
Mhm.
It ain't happen. It ain't happen because I'm trying to make everybody else's deadline. So it's learning to say no. It's learning to pick rest days
Mhm.
that you do nothing, to rest your
Mhm.
mind, to rest your body.
Right.
Get your, even if it's your favorite ice cream,
Mhm.
do something, right?
Right.
It's self care.
Mhm. And that's something that I definitely need to do. Like, when I was first starting my, like, you have your days where you're doing everything right, and then you have your days where it's kind of like you're kind of struggling. But that's something that I have to start doing again, and to take care of me, like taking myself out, enjoying me time, and doing things that make me happy. And yeah, because it's just like your attitude and everything, loving yourself, and doing all that kind of stuff to take care of you, it affects your attitude, and it does impact like the energy. Because if you aren't, doing things that make you happy, you're not really gonna put off a good vibe a lot of the times, because you're either gonna be tired, you're gonna be frustrated, you're gonna be upset, and people don't want to be
You don't want
around
to be there,
negative energy at all.
right? You don't want to be there,
Yeah.
and they don't want you there because you ain't fully yourself, and you can't give it your all.
Right.
So I love it. The last question I have for you is to tell someone who's struggling with loving themselves. What would you tell them?
Somebody who's struggling to love yourself, aside from know who you are, know that you are fearfully, wonderfully made, make sure you take care of you, always speak good things about yourself. um, even if you have to try to dig to find something, just make sure you're always speaking positively about you. Start every day, like saying those affirmations, looking yourself in the mirror, even if it's just something as simple as saying, I am beautiful, and saying that every single day. There's going to be times where you struggle. It's not like you're going to say one affirmation and then you're just going to be happy and everything's going to be fine. No, because I'm
Right.
still struggling. But it's like, you know what to do, and I know like it'll pass, and it just, you just have to, you just have to stay on that journey. So just continue to speak positive things about yourself. Don't compare yourself, and just know that you're the stuff. You are, even if
Right.
you don't believe it. You are. Um, as long as you're doing everything that you can to better yourself and do good, you just have to own it and just love you.
Right. Absolutely. And I really second that. And I really applaud you. I'm not that much older than you, but I just want to applaud you in regard to really.
How old are you?
Why you
Well,
look at
probably
me
never
like
mind. Huh?
that? Why you look at me like that? So I'm 30. I'll say it. I'm 30.
You thirty?
So,
Oh, oh, well,
yeah.
30. That's kind of up there though. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just joking.
You after that. But no, I really applaud you in regards to what you're doing and your efforts, which is really my passion too in regards to helping young girls,
Mm-hmm.
especially. But just your passion overall with helping that generation,
Mm-hmm.
getting them when they're young, because we talked about it. We talked about
Mm-hmm.
it earlier in regards to those who are committing suicide and,
Mm-hmm.
all these different things because they don't simply know who they are. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's good to catch them young at that stage. And I applaud you for stepping out on faith and writing these amazing books. And I have to order me some for my god babies. But yeah, definitely, I'm excited about this. So tell us about your brands, about your books, and your T-shirts and sweatshirts and all that, because I see it on you.
Yes, I have my Be Bold, Be Fearless one. We're gonna be doing a giveaway for this one. But like I said in the beginning, the beautiful, wonderful me, it was a vision from God because when I was 23, that's when I was like really struggling and I had to start getting into the Word. And my first book that I wrote, which is a beautiful, wonderful me, this book is actually an affirmation poem that I wrote for myself at the age of 23.
Hmm.
It was like 12 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was just like, I just need to start, speaking life. So God gave me this, and
Right.
then He gave me the idea to turn it into a children's book, and this was just supposed to be one book. And then later on, He just gave me different ideas, and I was like, I can turn this whole thing into a brand because I love to write poetry. I love you know, um, to write, little silly poems, and I like working with kids. That's what I really wanted to do with my life. And He was just like, you can just turn this whole thing into a brand to inspire and encourage and motivate young kids that are, going through the same things that I was when I was growing up. So
Mhm.
that's really what a beautiful wonderful me is all about, just encouraging kids to love themselves, be positive, and be creative. So I have 5 books. If you all are interested, you can go check out my Facebook page, a beautiful wonderful me,
Yeah.
or my website, www.abeautifulwonderfulme.com, my Instagram, a beautiful wonderful me, and you can see
She's branded.
everything. Yeah. And it's crazy because I just started a beautiful wonderful me last December, so it's been like a whole year. I started out with one book, and now I have 5 books. And I have another book. This A Beautiful Wonderful Me is for girls, and then I have An Amazing Wonderful Me book, which is the exact same words, except it's for boys because boys don't want to be called beautiful, so we're calling them amazing.
Right.
um, yeah, and the books are just encouraging books. I have another one. It's called The Book of Me from A to Z, and it's
Hmm.
just a book full of positive adjectives that kids can use to describe themselves. So if you're doing like affirmation worksheets or everything, it's just positive words that they can use to describe themselves. And then I also have a book called Fart Bubbles, and it's a book of wacky poems, and it's just encouraging kids to embrace their creativity. I'm the type of
Hmm.
person that kind of stuff humors
It
me,
goes
like
with your
talking about farts
personality.
and boogers and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And then it allows kids to create their own wacky poems. So that's just what a beautiful wonderful me is all about, just encouraging kids. And then we also have apparel on Teespring. If you go over to our website, you can click on merch, and we have different shirts. We have our Be Bold, Be Fearless shirt. We have our hashtag A Beautiful Wonderful Me shirt, and it's just you can rock your truth, being bold, being fearless. If you have um, yeah, if you want to rock out a beautiful, wonderful me, let the whole world know that you believe you are a beautiful, wonderful you, you can go ahead and rock that out.
Yes, definitely, you guys. Make sure you check out her website because you can definitely get that for some young kids that you have in your family, your
Hmm.
children, anybody. To go ahead, you can even actually buy some and donate them to some of these, organizations. We have nonprofits in the city, and make sure you have these people who are really, pouring into the kids, so we can do it and actually support somebody, a young lady who's
Hmm.
actually doing an amazing job. So we will be doing a giveaway, so you have to hashtag shared and actually share the page, and we're going to randomly pick somebody for a copy of the book and also the sweatshirt that she has on,
Yep.
right?
And then I also, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm wearing the red one, but we also have one in white and black. This is my little sister. She's 19. She really likes this one because she said it pops with the white and
Yeah,
black. So you have it in kid sizes and adult sizes as well.
absolutely. So make sure you share, hashtag share, and we're going to randomly pick somebody, and then we'll be in contact with you to
Mm-hmm.
actually get the prize. I love it. I thank you so much for being my guest. I thank you for dealing with all my coughing and keep going, right? I love it.
It's all
Like,
right.
so the enemy comes, but we're going to make it happen. No
Exactly.
excuse, right? We're gonna make it happen.
Exactly.
So I love it and I appreciate you. And I just really want to encourage you to continue to be strong, to be fearless, to be amazing, and understand and know that what you're doing matters. And that
Ex-
so many young people are impacted. And I can't wait till you reach the millions to reach other children all across the world, right? I
Thank you
love
so
it.
much. I appreciate
You're
you.
welcome. No problem. Thank you guys for joining. We appreciate you. This has been the first day of the Power of You Telesummit. Please join us tomorrow for day 2 as we talk about the power of creating healthy relationships. Have an amazing day, you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, beautiful.
Bye bye.